Yeah, I hated chemistry. Now I'm taking conceptual physics, and I'm terrible at that too. I don't know.
I love chemistry.
Dude, I hated
It's
it.
amazing. To me, at least. I mean, just knowing how chemicals interact with each other and all
I
that
mean, yeah,
stuff.
it's cool. I enjoyed it, but like actually doing the class, like, no, I'm good. No, and then Miss Berger, she's like a racist or something. Didn't she start the racist club?
The racist club?
Didn't she start like what club was that? The racist
The
social club or something?
anti-racist social club?
Oh, that's why they all looked at me weird when I showed up at the meeting.
What?
Yeah, because I just walked in the meeting and I was like, "Hello, fellow brothers." I was like, "Why has nobody got their hoods on?" And
Dude, I wish that. Did you actually do that?
I did not actually do
Dude, that
that.
would have been so good. You should have
I
just
would have got like expelled.
Yeah, no, you should be like, wait a minute. Why is there no
Wait a minute,
Confederate flag up?
Wait a minute, this is the anti-racism club?
No.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, those meetings those meetings are pretty fun though. We talk
Did you go to one?
Yeah, I'm in the club. Yeah, I go to them all.
Oh, you're in the anti-racism club?
Yeah.
Nice. What do you do?
Basically we just talk about issues at our school and issues nationwide. Some of the topics I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the students don't see it as a way to discuss these ideas, but they only see it as a safe space, which kind of upsets me because then they start to take things like they start to like be isolationist about it, and they're like, whoa, are you kidding me? You can't. I'm like, no,
Right.
this is a place to discuss those ideas. This is not a place to prevent the discussion of those ideas. But most of the time, it's a very enjoyable club. A lot of
that's
very
good.
important things are brought up.
Well, that's good. I mean, I feel like I'd be very, very bad in that club because I'm not very PC.
You are when you want to.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, I'm not even talking about jokes. I'm just talking about the way I talk. Like, I don't call black people like colored people or like people of color. Isn't colored people bad now? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I definitely would never go up to someone and be like, "Hey, colored person."
Yeah, that seems like that. Like that seems worse than calling them black. And I don't understand what's wrong with calling a black person black.
I haven't heard of that before. Is that really an issue?
I don't know.
I thought it was only when
some...
I thought it was like only like when you like say like call Native American Indian stuff like that.
Right.
I know that
but then that's the thing.
On the AP tests, you especially have to be very politically correct. You can't you can't say black on those. You have to say African American. You have to say Native American.
And see, that's the thing. Like, why is it offensive to call a Native American an Indian? Because I just say Indian usually.
Well, do you know the story behind that?
I actually don't.
It was Christopher Columbus. He literally just thought he
because he thought he was in India,
and that name
severely
basically just discounts them. It's like I don't know.
I guess
it's like
that makes more sense because it's identifying them as something that
as if I called you I don't know, Scandinavian, and you're like from Russia.
Yeah. Well, okay, that makes more sense. That I can understand that a little bit more. I don't know. It's just so hard to change your vernacular. You know.
Yeah.
Like I grew up as a little kid playing cowboys and Indians, and I've always thought that's what those people were called. Those indigenous peoples. I thought they were called Indians. But I guess I can understand why that would offend a Native American.
Yeah.
But then also I feel like, why can't we all just call each other Americans? Why do we have to bring any sort of cultural thing into it?
That I can't explain. I I always felt like people did that just because they didn't feel like identifying with other people of different races, but I don't know.
Well, because I mean, America was always called the cultural melting pot, but everything was always very divided with the immigrants. Like immigrants into early America, it was all completely divided.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, I guess I can understand, but I feel like at this point we should all be able to just call each other Americans. You don't need to be African American.
There's a lot of people in America that they just don't like America.
I mean, that's true.
Most recent movement, a lot of Black Lives Matter activists. Sadly, I can't participate because I live nowhere near any of the protests. But I definitely would be. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you?
Yes.
See, I don't think that I would, and here's why.
I really want police reform. I don't know. I just, from what I've seen, from what I've read, most of the modern day police systems were actually made like way back when most of the actual, oh my god, I can't even think right now. Just go. I'm fucking
okay.
I'm
no,
fucking
but
stupid.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I do think that there does need to be some police reform. Now, I don't think we should defund the police. That sounds stupid to me.
I think maybe, like in especially let's go back to excuse me.
You could.
Especially like Eastern Europe, not like Poland. They're all like broke, drunk, and poor. But I'm talking about like Denmark. What do they call it? The Nordic countries.
Yeah, the Nordic. Yeah,
Nordic countries. They aren't taught to disarm and use force to calm down situations. They are taught. They are literally taught how to dissuade someone from using violence. They are taught how and when specifically to use force to stop someone from committing something.
I think
that we should do that.
Something that we need. 100%. Yeah.
I correct me if I'm wrong, but like the specific requirements for becoming a policeman or a woman in America and a police person in other countries is way less. Let's look that up.
In America, you just have to pass, I think it's like a 3-week training program and then like a couple months of, maybe not even a couple months of like training. It's very little. And I agree with, like, there should be some police reform for sure. There needs to be. Because, and I don't even think necessarily that it's always a race problem. I think it's that, because police officers are trained to use force whenever they feel the need arises.
And we all know the stereotype that they like to push their childhood insecurities onto others.
Yeah.
We all know that stereotype. That happens. A lot of people, they're raised in a way that they might think a little bit differently. I'm talking about them like they're in the special classes or something.
Yeah.
But it's...
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But like a thing that a lot of people say is like, police officers, well, why didn't you just like shoot him in the leg or something? Well, police officers are actually trained to shoot until the target stops moving. That's what police officers are trained to do.
Really?
Is to hit they're trained to hit the biggest area of body mass, and if they have to discharge their weapon, they're taught to shoot to kill.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing, because sure, whenever, those things were put in place, I'm sure that was a good thing, because people were retarded and were killing people all the time, just trying to do whatever, because it was a very lawless society, so they had to have strict police, whatever, training code.
Are you sure about that?
Am I sure about what?
America being lawless?
Back, like, a long time ago?
Maybe.
Yeah.
In the frontier?
I'm talking about the frontier, like early colonial society.
That's not where the legislators were, though.
Well, no, but I mean, like, the militias, that's what they were trained to do. So then when the police force, like, official police forces were actually enacted, they just carried over the same codes and whatever they were taught, when they were in their militias.
Don't you remember Bacon's Rebellion?
Yeah, I remember Bacon's Rebellion.
They were angry about no representation.
Yeah.
And they didn't get any representation even after the rebellion was quelled.
Yeah.
They didn't carry it back over. They just made new laws. The actual police system that we have today is from the Civil War. And 1860. Yeah, there was still a frontier back then, but think about it. We had bounty hunters, cowboys, even though that job position was only open for like 14 years. That's my favorite fun fact. Like, the cowboy wasn't even a monumental part of our history.
Nope, not at all.
But, I don't know. Teddy Roosevelt was one. He was badass.
Dude, Teddy Roosevelt was cool as hell.
He was so fucking cool. Oh my
He really was.
And, you know,
nobody can stop the bull moose.
I signed up for the John F. Kennedy essay competition. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for politicians to nominate as being extraordinarily brave in the face of reform. Well, as in...
Dude, Teddy Roosevelt.
Reform for. But they have to have served in a political office after 1917.
Dude, what?
And Teddy Roosevelt
was so close.
I don't know. He wasn't really that much of a progressive.
No, but he did enact like a lot of environmental reforms.
Excuse me.
That was disgusting.
Fuck you.
But no, he did enact a lot of environmental reforms and stuff.
The environmental reforms are cool and all, but like, this is like everyone in America, and I would have to put some pretty damn good points to compete with some of the ones that they were probably gonna have.
Yeah, well, I mean, he coined the term muckraker, and although he didn't like them, he did embrace some of the progressive journalists, like what they were saying. Even though he disliked them, he did enact some of their reforms with the FDA and that sort of stuff.
He did the 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act and all that. Yeah, but like that was really it. He wasn't all that. So what I was saying, I almost did Woodrow Wilson.
So I could see Woodrow Wilson. He was fairly.
I looked at him. I was like, "Wow, that's a pretty good track record." Oh, what's this? Declared that the Ku Klux Klan were the Knights of the Old America who defended the pride of the South. Oh, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't do Woodrow Wilson.
Maybe you shouldn't do Woodrow Wilson. Do you know what the bad thing is, though?
What?
It's really, because now, obviously, in today's society, it's really easy to judge them as, oh, yeah, they're terrible people. But it's hard to, like, wrap your mind around that. Back then, that was not only socially acceptable, that was socially preferred.
Yeah, I don't get it, though. The idea of being racist towards each other, that's always been around.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
But, like, most Europeans weren't actually racist until, like, this random-ass guy wrote some book about it. Like, the early... shoots. I literally can't remember. It was, like, a theorem on race or something like that. And...
Yeah.
It literally, he just, like, basically listed a bunch of stereotypes about different European countries, and that's why they started hating each other.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. But racism is just such a weird thing.
I don't get it. I'm not gonna lie. The idea, eugenics in a whole, it just... It don't make no sense. Like, obviously, not. If your entire culture is, like, 5 inches shorter, that's like, yeah, you're shorter, but that's it. You're not gonna be dumber. Most cultures that are dumber, like, people be like, Africa's dumb. No, they have, like, no schools. There's nothing in those areas where the population is dense. Poverty is a horrible thing.
Yes, it is, my friend. And then, another thing that I never really have been able to grasp is, like, this whole social Darwinism concept. That's such a weird thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, social Darwinism is just like that people actually practiced and believe that. That's so extremely weird.
I think that's just an easy excuse to ramp up nationalism.
I mean, Probably. I can
Like, probably
understand
some
that.
Kaiser or something was just like, hey, we're superior, let's kill people. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody was like,